Okay, this is Don Hoder from the Southpointe Marcellus Shell Chamber of Commerce, and today we have with us James Foley, and James is from Janney Montgomery Scott, which is a firm located in Pittsburgh, right?
Pittsburgh, Southpointe, Wexford, Beaver, yeah.
All over the place. And could you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. We are a regional investment firm. We're based in Philadelphia. We work with wealthy individuals, business owners, etc., to help them meet their financial planning, investment needs, etc.
And just typically, what is your product and service that you offer?
Investment advice. For many, many years, our business was about executing a transaction, but in reality, we're strictly about providing advice.
Providing advice for people on retirement, investment money. Okay, a lot of people that are here own land and they just signed leases.
Correct, yeah.
And got some pretty good sized checks.
Correct.
How would they handle all that money?
You know, the people that are in that situation, for the majority, it's a conversation about their legacy. And all of a sudden, they've been made wealthy overnight. And it really starts to they reflect on what do they want to accomplish. Because at a certain point, you've got enough money. You've paid for your house. You've provided for your income needs. You've maybe provided for children and grandchildren's education. Those are things that you get into. What do you want the money to accomplish? And that's really where our conversations really begin to develop. And we kind of identify the strategy and the plan to help them accomplish what they want to accomplish in the short term, but also to establish a legacy and kind of an identity around what they want to be remembered for.
So most people that walk into your place are 250 and above, and they're looking to plan their estates, plan their money, and optimize use of their money.
Correct.
Now, I understand you can't give you're regulated pretty heavily, but how would you invest typically that amount of money, $250,000? What would you? And a lot of people have that with their 401ks.
A lot depends on your age and how much time you have to invest. If it's a long term, time is your friend. If it's short term, or this is a one-time deal and the money's not going to get substantially larger than that, we can take a much more conservative profile. It depends on the client. The client really drives the process because it's based on what the client needs and what their objectives are.
But a client who comes in that was at $50,000 and now is at $2.2 million with $100,000 a month, does he really know what he wants to do with that money?
No, and actually, it's kind of funny. We all sort of fantasize that would be a fabulous thing, but you'd be amazed at how much anxiety and stress that causes someone. The reality is it's hard because that's public information in a lot of cases. If you know where to find it, it's not that hard to find. And suddenly you've got several thousand new best friends that are approaching you for loans and gifts and charity. There's a lot of charity organizations that approach, and it can be very overwhelming, especially if you're not used to it or familiar with it.
Well, if I have that problem, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, it's not a bad problem to have, but it's a lot of people don't expect it.
Now, other than the landowner that walks in with his $2 million check, are you finding small business owners coming in with a windfall as a result of the trickle-down of the Marcellus Shell industry in general?
I think it's more of a trickle-down than a windfall. There are isolated cases. Here's what I really think that most small business owners don't get is that their business that maybe 2 years ago was worth $200,000, $300,000, maybe $500,000 might now be worth $3-4 million. And
why is that?
Just because of the additional opportunity, the increase in revenue. We have a client ran a trucking business in Clearfield County. For years, operated 3-4 trucks. He's now operating 44 trucks. The only limitation on his number of trucks is he can't get qualified truck drivers that can pass a drug test.
Any truck drivers here? Yet they're all out driving trucks, obviously.
Right. Yeah. So what's the value of that business? For 6-8 years ago, it might have been worth a couple $100,000. For the majority of his life, he's made ends meet, prospered a little bit, and all of a sudden, because of this increase, it's going to continue.
I think that's the case with a lot of our businesses. It's happening here with our chamber. Our chamber's been around for 17 years. Everybody says we're in the right place at the right time. Well, we've been waiting around for 17 years for these things to happen. But our chamber's growing exponentially because of the people who want to connect and meet, and business opportunities to make money in the Marcellus Shell-related businesses.
Absolutely.
And it's taken off for us. How many people here, let's just take a quick survey, how many people here have felt a positive impact from the gas oil industry that has moved into the area? About 30% of the room.
Absolutely. And you don't get enough credit for doing the great job you do. This is one of the best chambers I know of I've ever seen. You do a fantastic job.
I didn't hear that. The mic wasn't up loud enough.
I said you do a fantastic job.
Vic, you got a $20 bill. So your lunch is free, and you get to go through the line twice. Okay. So we're easy here. Was there anything you'd like to add about what Janney Montgomery Scott?
I would just say this. Barron's publishes every year a list of the largest broker-dealers, largest investment firms, and there was only one in their top 50 that was based in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. That's Janney Montgomery Scott. I want to give you just one parting perspective. If you look at the recent usage taxes that were passed by our legislators, there's only one firm that has public finance bankers based in Pittsburgh that can help municipalities take advantage of that, issue bonds, build schools, build roads, build the infrastructure. And if you're looking for, that's Janney, by the way, if you're looking for what's the next step is that infrastructure. And if you get that infrastructure built, it's going to be an unprecedented boom for this Commonwealth. It's going to be an unbelievable opportunity. And it really doesn't matter what business you're in. There are certain businesses that will benefit more than others. But I think just about every business that's represented by your chamber,
somehow related,
they will benefit.
Good. Well, Jim, I want to thank you for coming by. Is there anybody who has a question? Our roaming mic guys here. Questions? Vic randomly picks somebody out and asks them. Just kidding. It's not that way. Anybody have any? Well, we must have satisfied all their curiosities, that's for sure.
There's nothing quite as exciting as an investment banker or stockbroker, I guess.
No, we had a dentist last week.
That's right. I think he got a question, though, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did have a question. Something about an abstract.
I couldn't even top the dentist, man. That's pretty bad.
Well, I'd like to thank Jim Foley from Janney Montgomery Scott, and we want to thank you for viewing this video on our website and on YouTube.